A disappointing result in the last outing in Jagermeister Cup play to Portland Hearts of Pine dropped Detroit City into the 4th spot in Group 4 of the competition. It's a do-or-die game for Detroit City FC. However, the Boys in Rouge have gained momentum thanks to a victory last week against Miami FC at Keyworth Stadium. Will they carry that momentum into Trinity Health Stadium this afternoon? We will find out next on this Jagermeister Cup edition of Soccer Night in Detroit. Do or die, as I mentioned at the beginning of this, in the cold open of this video here. Detroit City SC playing in the Jagermeister Cup. This is the third round of 4 games in this competition, 4 games in this group stage here, and it's a big one today.
It's a big one. It's do or die. You're behind the 8 ball after that 4-2 loss to a Portland Hearts of Pine, where we got knocked around really well.
4 goals off 4 turnovers.
I know, you're right. And now they're behind the 8 ball because all you have to do, hope and pray, you win the last 2 games in regulation. You could get in with 9 points, but honestly, if you go to a shootout, you will either lose some points or drop points. So, unfortunately, you can't qualify with 8 points like on overtime when on regulation. You have to win out, and hopefully, good luck comes this way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
And you've got to, you definitely have to, you got to put the pedal to the metal here. And Detroit City, they did that on Saturday against Miami FC.
You're right.
Big 2-0 victory there. The main thing, I got a main question about that. I was listening to, let's see, one of the podcasts on Substack the other day. They were talking about the game. Guy from Beyond Carter Kirchmeier. Wasn't too happy about the fact that Detroit City scored at the death.
What?
He wasn't too happy. He thought they should have laid up and took the 3 points, blah, 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 this and that. Has he seen Detroit City lately?
I don't think so. I know we haven't been doing well in the last 2 months, and that was a big booster for us. And the goal he scored near the 90 minutes. You have to play all 90 plus extra, and he
played until the whistle blows.
Played until the whistle blows. That he treated it like it
was from Matthew McConaughey and We Are Marshall.
And ladies and gentlemen, he scored like it was 0-0, and that was a great goal. That was a really great goal. By the way,
it's like, have you seen what Detroit City has done in the last month? 2-2 draw. Mm-hmm. That's where it began. The 2-2 draw against
Indianapolis.
Indy 11, where we gave up 2 goals to Alessandro. 4-0 shutout in Chicago.
A massacre.
0-0 against Hartford Athletic the last time these 2 teams played.
Yeah, right.
1-1 draw against Birmingham Legion. Losing to Charleston Battery 3-1. Mm-hmm. The massacre in Portland. Don't even get me started about Pittsburgh.
I know.
And then the 3-2 loss at Loudoun.
Yes.
Detroit City shouldn't have had to score that goal. Back when we lost to Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Danny Dico mentioned that there were too many passengers right now.
Being way too comfortable in the back of the bus.
Nobody was there to step up.
Or took the wheel.
And take the wheel. What Atas Youth did Saturday afternoon at Keyworth Stadium, I'll tell you what, I don't know why you don't play this guy. The guy had some tenacity, he had some fire going, and you could tell on that goal at the death, getting through two defenders to put it back, put in the back of the net past Hadid. And you know what? They were relentless on it. I mean, for most of that half, Miami was attacking our end. You'd think they weren't going to come back and counterattack, you know?
No, and they
And the fact was, Juve wanted that ball. He wanted that goal. He wanted to be the man to do it. And there was another attempt earlier than that in which he made a drive to the net, obviously to no avail. But it's like, we finally, it's like we finally got to see the hunger back in Detroit City on Saturday night. And I disagree with what Kartik says as far as that goes. It's like you're questioning why we scored that goal in the 90th in stoppage at the death on Saturday. Have you seen what we look like? And we haven't looked pretty good.
No,
we haven't looked very good at all.
No.
That was the best effort I've seen since probably the game against Phoenix Rising for Detroit City FC. Hartford, on the other hand, I mean, you look at their form. That's not bad. I mean, they've gotten 3 wins.
Yeah.
2 of them being Jagermeister Cup wins. And their
and
last win.
Oh, 3 points. Yeah.
3-0 against Loudon.
Oh, that was a shocker. That was a shocker last week.
Yeah.
Do you have one of the best players, top 5 in scoring, and a surprising Loudon team, and they just I was shocked to see in the scoreline they didn't show up.
Yeah.
No.
Let's go. I mean, let's go to that match. I mean, they only had 36% possession, so pretty much everything was done on the counter. Look at the shots. The total shots, 21 shots.
Oh, 21. Oh, my God.
They were peppering the net. They were peppering Hugo Furrow on Friday night, or last Friday night over in Hartford.
Yeah.
And and there's been a lot been said about the club. I think they had a little protest, a silent protest, shall we say, because some of the members of the club were not happy with management.
No,
not happy. Yeah, not happy with the FO and I think I apologize for saying this wrong. The backyard or the Boneyard Bonanza.
Boneyard Bonanza.
I think it's Boneyard Bonanza. The supporters group over there. Kind of off of Brass Bonanza.
Yeah, from all the Hartford Whalers. Now I get
it. Anywho, but no, okay. The supporters group did a silent protest because of the way that this team is playing and the way that they have been answering back to the supporters group and whatnot.
11th place, 1 point ahead of the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
And the play as of late has been horrendous.
Yeah, you're right.
You look at the matches in general that they've won. 2 of them have been in the Jagermeister Cup. Grant you was Portland Hearts of Pine, who we lost to.
Yeah.
And then the other one was against Westchester SC.
Yeah, you're right.
But as far as their league plays go, they did beat Birmingham Legion at home, a 1-0 victory there.
Yeah. It's kind of weird because
3-0 in the note, but other than that,
it's kind of weird because when you see their league play, they're not doing so well.
Lost to Lexington, lost to Pittsburgh, lost to El Paso Locomotive, but lost to Loudon in Loudon.
But this competition, they seem doing pretty well and is in line for a wild card spot according to the standings, which I.
Could they be the Crystal Palace of the Jagermeister Cup,
probably.
or the Northern Colorado Hailstorm of the Jagermeister Cup?
By the way, speaking of Northern Colorado, did you hear they were accepted into NISA? Remember that league?
I didn't know they were still around.
Yeah. I read the story this week. I was just kind of, good luck there being lost in that league. Oh, my. Oh, freaking my.
The dead shall never die at this point. You cannot kill they say you cannot kill what's already dead.
I know. It's dead.
Is it dead yet? It's not dying. Why won't it die? Why won't you die? Why won't you die?
Let me give you, I'm going to go a brief one. The league group leaders are Sacramento, New Mexico, Indy, Rhode Island, Loudon, Miami FC, and the 2 possibly wild cards that I had to look this up because could be Birmingham and Hartford.
Yeah. And Detroit could go a long way in warding off because they have a say in which they could get into the top 2. Should they beat Hartford on Saturday, And like I said, this is a must-win. You beat Hartford on Saturday
in regulation.
In regulation, you move up. You move up ahead of them. You got the head-to-head win.
You could possibly get into the playoff as group winners
and I think with the
wild card at 9
with,
points, but I don't think so with 8 points if you lose.
And I think
shootout.
With the what do you call it? The let's see, like I said, the way the gold and they don't go by goal differential.
No.
And all that stuff. Hartford's got a +3 right now as far as goal differential. Detroit has a -1.
Yeah.
So I mean, that could be taken into factor as well.
Yeah.
But you got to score goals.
You're right.
And and going back to what I said about Cardick not being comfortable with Detroit scoring a goal at the death against Miami. You got to score goals in this tournament to make a difference because goal scoring is one of the tiebreakers. The most goals scored is one of the tiebreakers. Right now
we only have 3, and everybody
Hartford has 6.
You're right.
Or as far as points go.
So
as far as points go.
So you
I don't have the. Okay, there we go. So
you may have to score some more points, or unfortunately, I hate to say this, that Westchester SC game, the last game of the group play, could be reduced to a 1 championship game friendly. Who knows?
Yeah, it could be. It could be reduced to that. You gotta take care of business here tonight. But I think the thing is with Detroit City, though, is I think they can be the team to take care of business because you saw the fire coming back. You saw the fire coming back on Saturday against Miami SC. You saw that fire coming back. You saw it started to trickle a little bit on Saturday, the week before against Loudoun United. You think that that game had a little bit of hangover towards Friday night in Trinity Health Park for Loudoun?
Maybe.
Even though they did score 3 goals,
you're right.
2 by Abukora.
Yeah. You could say a hangover, but this is a different beast of a Detroit City team. Although, and we mentioned this on Wednesday, City is going to be out with some key players. The big one on Saturday, which was announced after Saturday match, Ben Morris, the guy who you're going to build around.
I was going to say after Saturday's match, and I mean he suffered a ACL injury last week during practice, hence why he wasn't in the lineup against Miami.
For the more saddest words in sports, out for the season. That's fun.
8 months out. I mean, that's usually what the timetable is on ACL injuries and all that stuff. And of course, we've seen our friend Pato Batalafaz come back, and he's playing for Union Omaha now. Shout out to Pato.
Thank you. Also, another injury we mentioned on Wednesday was Stephen Carroll. He's been knocked around. It could be a knee. You know what I mean?
There's possibility that he might go under the scope in July. We shall see how that goes. But if you remember what Stephen Carroll did for us back in 2020, during that run to win the fall championship, he was playing injured. And he was a huge, like I said, having that man out on the pitch, being your quarterback, and especially, but grant you got to remember that 2020 season was kind of a short season. We played a little bit of a regular season with some Eastern teams in that, and then we played the fall tournament over at Keyworth. So, but being out there on that pitch, he was a catalyst out there, and he is the quarterback of this club. He is definitely. I mean, not many. A lot of people say the goalkeeper is the guy that keeps everything going out. That Stephen Carroll's the guy that keeps everything going for Detroit City FC.
I know.
And not having him out there can make a huge difference. I mentioned the passenger statement a little bit ago about that. Nobody's Sam's our partner in crime just walked in front, but then it's all right. Had a little.
She had to take a call.
Yes,
as we like to say in the business.
In the business, had to take a call. But other than that, like I said, it's just that the fact that Detroit City needs to, like I said, find its leadership. Whether it be a Herrera, whether it be a Saldana in the back of the net, barking out plays and all that stuff. They gotta find something. They gotta find a way. And if they're going to be without Stephen Carroll for a significant amount of time, I don't know what I can say about the fortunes of this club
Yeah,
at that point.
that's going to be a good, interesting question. He started on last Saturday against Miami, but if he missed some time, oh brother.
And he's played through injuries before, but you got to remember he's been with this club for a good long time. That's a lot of years. He's getting into his 30s now.
I know.
Things don't heal like they used to, and trust me, I know. I'm 53. I know things don't heal like they used to.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, he's already a city legend. May put his name up among the mirror of city legends when we play at Michigan 20th in about 2 years' time. So, yes.
Absolutely. And like I said, the guy, he's a big cog in the lineup. Ben Moore's being out. I mean, who's going to step up and all that? I like Jasil Cedeno as far as that goes. I mean, his play on Saturday was tremendous. I like that give and go that they had between him and Darren Morris as far as that goes.
Don't forget Darren Smith. He will score.
Darren Smith, Darren Smith, thank you. I had a little mistake there. Yeah, Darren Smith. Yeah, the back and forth those two had.
He almost had an 8-goal, but that stop was saved by the leg.
Hadid had Hadid. He read it good.
And by the way, that's nominated for the goal of the week this week.
Or save of the week?
Save the week.
Save the week,
yeah. I was surprised. I saw it on a broadcast with that was an amazing save. He saved it. It would have been a goal, but he saved it with his legs. Oh, my God.
Yeah, but I couldn't figure out either side that he was going to go on, and next thing you know, it just ended up.
And by the way, our goaltender Carla is also nominated for Save of the Week as well.
Actually, we got to look at we'll find out. We'll find out the result. Obviously, since we're recording on Wednesday, we don't know the results of that. But they were both. Herrera and Cedeno were both named to Team of the Week.
Yes.
In
first time
as Sam comes back, our lovely camera person.
First time in a while since Darren Smith did it back-to-back weeks.
Yes.
2 braces and
as far as Team of the Week goes, it wasn't Player of the Week because somebody else got the Player of the Week.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. All right.
But. I digress there, but salute to those guys. By the way,
salute for you guys. Yeah,
salute to those two for making it into the team of the week for the USL Championship. So, needless to say, I mean, the guys are, they did their thing against Miami last Saturday. So, I mean, and now, the hopes are, I mean. Right now, Detroit City, as you know, still in this thing.
You're right.
They got to win.
Both games in regulation.
Yeah.
If you have any chance.
Absolutely.
You could make it a wild card, 9 teams, or win the group team. But if you get into a tie, you're not going to get the full 3.
You're not playing Rhode Island. You're not playing Rhode Island.
Yeah, so you're not playing Rhode Island.
Your hopes of getting that second spot is going to be relying on what Rhode Island does. If Rhode Island
against Portland Hartford, who. By the way, they
could be dangerous.
And they did beat them in the U.S. Open Cup.
Yep, they are a dangerous squad.
Very dangerous squad.
They are a dangerous squad.
And a great hometown backing them up.
Oh, my God. I'll tell you what.
If you saw that game against Portland, it was sold out for that game.
Yeah, and needless to say, I mean, those fans will show up and they will make it definitely a 12th.
And by the way, they have a nice logo. By the way, I already mentioned it.
I think the NGS has mocked it a little bit. Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Let's hope they don't face on the Pittsburgh Roadhouse because their mascot may knock it, literally.
We have plans for that soon.
By the way.
Anywho, like I said, it's going to come down to really, can Detroit City keep up the momentum?
Yeah.
Can Hartford keep up the momentum? Which, two sides with very good momentum.
Right.
Clashing with each other. And Detroit obviously will be a little bit battle tested because they had a friendly on Wednesday night at, maybe probably going to be a heavily rotated lineup.
Yeah.
From that.
Now because of the
injuries as opposed to what it's going to be tonight as far as that lineup goes. We'll find out there.
We'll say that on Saturday.
I'm sure this guy will let you know from the clubhouse. What that lineup's going to look like.
All right. Could we talk about the other big game tonight? We're on Saturday. DCFC ladies.
Because while we're recording this today on a Wednesday, I'm going to be in Kalamazoo covering Detroit City FC as they make a push to the playoffs in the USLW. So little brief mention of that. So this is why we are recording today. So I will be in Kalamazoo. This guy will be at the clubhouse.
Yes.
And it's going to be a fun night there.
Yeah, it'll be a fun night with Drag Queen Bringo as part of Pride Raiser.
I am
this
jealous.
This is the last of the few games. We had the game on Wednesday against Toledo Villa, the tie against Kalamazoo, and this game tonight against Portland.
Or against Hartford.
But since we're recording on Wednesday, the game already happened. So let's put a madcap voiceover tandem of how much we raised before the Saturday grand finale. Hit it!
Out of the 1931-69 that has been pledged so far in Pride Raiser, a total of 11 goals makes that total $21,249. Scan the QR codes at the top of the screen to make your donation today to the Ruth Ellis Center, as today is the last day that goals count towards this year's Pride Raiser.
All right. Of course, as you know, contribute to Pride Raiser. They will be. I think this is the last week you can make pledges and all that stuff. Adjust your pledges and all that fun stuff. I think a couple days after that, July 1st is coming, and then that's when you can make.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. You can't adjust your pledges, can't do anything of that nature, but make your donation. And you can adjust them afterwards if you want. I mean, okay, it'll give you a bill.
Okay,
Tell you this is how many goals were scored. This is how much was raised for Pride Raise. This is how much your pledge equals that, and then this is how much you owe this is how much you owe the prize raiser. You can adjust that amount afterwards.
Or like you just mentioned, you can make a one-time donation.
Absolutely, one-time donation.
Doesn't have to be big or small. Nope. Just right for your budget. And
anything helps, especially in this economy.
You're right.
Anything helps.
And we also had a different priorities. I know Nuremberg had the tie-dye T-shirt. I bought one of them at their booth. It goes to the Ruth Ellis Center.
Nice.
We're having Drag Queen Bio once again.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun night.
It's going to be a fun night. So hey,
like I said, I'm jealous. I'm very jealous because I'll be in Kalamazoo.
I know, and then we'll have the final toll right around July. And it's very.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll basically, we'll obviously have a, shall we say,
big announcement.
Yeah, they'll have the big announcement in July, but as far as the Pride Raiser goes, this is the final night of Pride Raiser as far as
final night in a few days. Yeah,
but we'll have the final goal tally and all that stuff during after hours.
And it's a really great organization. We have headquarters in Highland Park, their origin, then Detroit, especially the building off Claremont, which is a great building featuring a portrait of the Ruth Ellis, the
icon, an icon with
in
the
gay community here in Detroit. Yes,
and nationwide.
Oh yeah,
nationwide too.
All
right. Let's get to the picks there. Adjusted from.
Don't forget that we forgot the women. They're playing a big game tonight.
We did mention that. Yes. We did mention that, but as far as that goes, let's quickly on that one.
Okay.
Quickly on that one, I'm going to go 2-0 Detroit City.
For the women's game or the men's game? Okay. I'm going to say 2-0 Detroit City as well. You know what I mean?
I think they got Kalamazoo's number, even though they are a tough squad.
They're a very tough squad, yes. So, and then we'll see what happens against Toledo on Sunday. As AFC Ann Arbor hosts Toledo Villa at Holloway Field. It's coming right down to the death in the USLW. Could we go to the playoffs, or could we say what if? Could we go to the next round, the knockout stage of the Jagermeister Cup? Oh yeah, that's a good question. Could we go to? I say yes. I'm gonna say it's gonna be 2-0 Detroit City against Hartford. Two teams with great momentum going into this match. Yeah. Two teams with great momentum going into this match. I'm gonna say it's gonna be Detroit City with the victory here. I'm gonna go 2-1 on that one. I think we're somebody's going to step up there. It's not going to be like the 0-0 draw that we had. And it's going to be one in regulation. I think Detroit City comes up with the victory there. I could even go as far as saying 1-0 in this game because we need that point. You're
we
right.
need that point. And
We
I
need
don't think they're going to be as vocal as they are here at Keyboard Stadium.
I
But
will say they need maximum point because that's all they have to do.
Got to get some goals. Got to get some goals. You said
I said 2-0.
You said 2-0. I said 2-1. But
Right.
yeah, you got to get some goals here too because that's also another tiebreaker as far as moving on into the knockout stage, and then hope for some help from down the line. With
Birmingham.
Well, hope for some help in, within your own within your own group too.
We'll
somebody needs to find something with Rhode Island there. So in the next two matches as well. So
all right.
Do or die game. Where can we see this game?
Let's begin with the USC Jagermeister Cup. You can see this game at 7 o'clock on CW Detroit 50, WKBD TV, Channel 50 in Detroit. The Plate Sports, L School. I like that. Also, if you're not near a TV, you can find it on your mobile browser at cbsdetroit.com.
Please be working. It hasn't worked the last couple times. I mean, I don't mean it in a mean way. The last couple times we've had issues with the live stream on that. So,
or you could go to cbsnews.com. Just press. Local.
Like I said, cross our fingers on that before he goes through all that BS. And also, you can see that game on ESPN+.
ESPN Plus. I don't think we don't have a Spanish or
no TUD in this week.
Yes, and for the women's game, you can see the game on Saturday on NBC Sports Engine Play. Also, maybe on CBSSports.com.
No, it won't be.
It won't be. Oh yeah, it's a road game.
Yeah.
But if you want to watch, if you are having
be on the National Soccer Network. Who knows? I don't know.
But if you're having search, just go to USLW, press watch. They have all the teams listed alphabetically, and since the game is going to be Toledo, click Toledo Villa. That's it.
And as I mentioned, I will be at Kalamazoo doing soccer night in Detroit after hours. He's going to file a report from all the shenanigans going on at the field, at the clubhouse.
You're right. At the clubhouse with team lineup before the game and post-game matchup or wrap-up.
Post-game wrap-up from the clubhouse for the Jagermeister Cup game. I'm going to do post-game analysis from Kalamazoo as the women take on Kalamazoo FC.
I think we're done. Okay.
And until we see you on After Hours, keep your feet on the ground. Keep reaching for the galaxy.